this morning and her daughter, Addie Perley. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday, right?
Yes, happy Wednesday.
Wait, did you guys plan this at home? I mean, what? Look at you.
No,
You're like right in
sometimes
sync.
I
Look at
think
that.
we just end up talking exactly the same.
I love that. Love that. Well, we're so glad to have you with us, and we're going to be talking about the Washington County Fair. A lot of great news and a lot of fun coming up. But I want to thank our sponsors. We're very grateful and very thankful for our sponsors this morning of Coffee Club. We have Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Perley Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Schneck Medical Hospital, and Springs Valley Bank and Trust, and Temple and Temple. So glad to have our great sponsors. Very proud of all of them. So we got a win with the Pacers last night. How exciting was that, ladies?
That is very exciting. Seth and I were able to take Cam to a game earlier in the season, so it's nice how we see, you root for the home team,
Absolutely.
Anything Indiana, except maybe those Hoosiers, because Becky, we're a Boilermaker.
That's okay. You hammer down and boil her up. You should have seen the Purdue band at the Indy 500.
Oh,
boy, what a big, huge presence they made. They were just like there. They had that big drum. It was just, they were like, they were very impressive.
Sadly, we missed the Indy 500 parade. Actually, my dad is a Shriner at La Orma in Bedford, Indiana, and the Shriners were part of the Indy 500 parade again this year. So I know my dad, shout out to him, he's 75. But he is still super active, and the group of gentlemen and the Shriners and everything they do for kids, it's just phenomenal. Always has a piece of my heart. So
and it is, and you're totally right. And I don't think they get enough, acknowledgement for what all Shriners Hospital and what all they do. You're totally right, and
they serve our area too. They serve Orange, Washington, Lawrence. So it's definitely.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Guys from around here.
Yeah. Now, are they? I do have to ask. Does your dad drive one of those little cars?
So he started out on one of the little hot rod cars, and he still owns it. But now he has kind of the big wheel one. His is, of course, like a fluorescent orange Addy. Yeah. So he tends to kind of bring up the back section of it. But I said, if I get to be 75 and beyond and still be as active and as fun as my dad is, then, I'm living a good life.
I love the scooter.
Oh, yep. And they have scooters and golf carts. And I know one of them drives kind of the Volkswagen looking vans that he sits inside of. So, I mean, they're just phenomenal.
Love every bit of this. Okay. I know we're going squirrel. We're going down a different, but I have to know. No, I've not been able to. I'd love to interview him because. So do they get their cars themselves, or is that something that the club?
Most of them get them themselves.
Okay.
And then they can kind of pick what kind of design goes on it. So my dad's little car, when he uses it, his is called My Little Dream. So the bottom is orange and then the top is white. So it reminds you of a dreamsicle, essentially. But then others have different themes to them. So I know some have the bright metallic colors, some are pink,
some have purple, green.
So everybody kind of gets to pick their own design. My dad's has working headlights, working brakes, horns. I mean, and those little cars go faster than what you think they do.
No, I think they go extremely fast. Yes. No, they're crazy fast. And
we have not let Addison on it yet. We're not quite ready for her to have that much energy. But they do go pretty fast.
So you let me drive a Ranger.
So
that's what it is. Sorry.
A little different, but okay. One more question. Okay. I'm sorry. I love, these are things that I've always wondered. And I think our people want to know, you see them in the parade and that, those are one of the best things in the parade. We love, everybody loves when the Shriners show up, and that's kind of huge to get them in a parade.
Yeah.
It's a big deal when you get them to be in your parade.
So they do an incredible amount of parades every year, and it's not just La Orma's having their cars. I mean, every Shrine Club tends to have vehicles. I know out of Bloomington, I cannot remember what they call their chapter of Shriners, but they, I believe, have the little Corvettes that they sit in. So a lot of it depends on availability. I know we were trying to get them in our fair parade, but our fair parade, as much as we love it, unfortunately lands on Father's Day, and that's
Yeah.
really hard for a lot of them to
Oh,
miss
absolutely.
Father's Day with
Well,
their
sure,
own.
yeah.
But they have previously been in our
I
parade.
know, yeah.
And, you know,
yeah.
sometimes they do the fun tricks where they balance on two wheels on those little cars. And keep in mind, like they are sitting on top of them.
Yeah.
So it's all about balance and, you know, but they do an incredible amount of parades every year.
Yeah.
And I think this was either the second or the third time that they've done the 500 parade. But the Wslm Shriners, I believe they are kind of the one of the top parading units. So at least in my eyes, you know, they're the top. But I believe in the state, they are one of the top parade units. And I mean, they're just a great group of gentlemen, and just a lot of them, you know, such good heart, such good intention about bringing awareness to helping children.
Right.
So
I love it. No, I love that. And those, yeah, I love everything they do. And I think it's fantastic. But okay, one more question. Do they practice a lot? Because I don't know how they do those figure eights, and they'll stop, you know, in the middle of the parade and do their own little fun.
So the ones, a lot of times the figure eight ones tend to be like the ones that are the Corvettes. And I don't know how much they practice. I know Wslm, they practice some, but it's not like continual practice. So
they make it look so entertaining and so good. I just don't know how they do it, you know.
I don't either. And you know, it's phenomenal that every time, and you think like all the things that like potholes or railroad tracks or all those things, like oh my goodness, sometimes you kind of hold your breath, like please just let them be mindful of things around them. But then at the same time, making sure that they keep a safe distance, because you know, little kids attend parades and things. So I'm always so thankful that they are mindful of the spectators, and also that the spectators are mindful of how close they kind of can come to them. But I mean, they do a lot of parades in the area. I know they do the Persimmon Festival and the Dogwood Festival and things like that. So, you know, if you're ever at any of those and you see them,
and 4th of July, a lot of times, yeah.
So make sure, you know, wave, say hi. They love interacting with, you know, kids and adults and just other organizations. So
yeah. Well, I think they bring a happiness to your heart when you watch them.
They definitely do.
Yeah, they always make me happy. I love. Yeah, it's something that I love to see. Yeah.
So
I appreciate you.
Shout out to the Shriners.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. I've not known anybody enough to ask all those questions. And those are questions I was just curious about, because, you know, you watch them and you know, I wanted to kind of know the mystery of the behind it, you know, so it's cool to know.
Well, and I think they kind of call themselves Hiram's Hot Rods is what the Wslm ones go by, because their little cars, again, are like the little street rod hot rods that you see go into nationals every August down in Louisville. So.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Well, hats off to them and all that they do, and, you know, and what they do when they do raise money, and the proceeds go to help our children, you know, and several, like you said, in our communities and surrounding communities. So hats off to them. So,
yes. Yeah. But while we're talking about parades, you know, our parade will be here before we know it.
It's creeping, Nicole.
It's coming. So our parade this year has an amazing theme that goes with our fair. Soundtracks of Summer, right up Becky's alley, you know.
Love it.
So our fair parade is going to be on Sunday, June the 15th at 1:30. The lineup is at the Wslm Community School Complex. I believe you actually kind of go towards the middle school. And we have phenomenal organizers. Stacy Gilbert, of course, Shelly Smith.
Yeah.
And we do have the paper copy of the entry form in the fair book. If anyone needs fair books, you know, let us know. And then also a digital copy that is on our social media.
Okay.
So if you don't have access or aren't able to find a fair book, you can go on our Facebook page for Washington County Farmers Merchants Fair.
Yeah.
And get on there. And we ask that you donate a case of canned goods or non-perishables, which then we donate directly to our food bank.
Yes, which is wonderful. The fair is always connected with the food bank, I feel. We always try to give back to the food bank. Don't you feel?
We are part of a program in the state of Indiana called Fairs Cares. And it's something that we opt into every year. And it's important, you know, another way that fair is such a big part of our community. Not only, and it's not just a Wslm thing or a Camelsburg thing or a Pekin thing. This is an event that brings together everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not just kids who show animals either.
No,
I mean,
no.
it is, families that just want to have a night out. Go ride rides, go look at the animals, look at all the hard work of the 4-Hers.
Right. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And I think it's wonderful. And I love that we give to the food bank, because I think, we have to always remember, like usually around the holidays, a lot of times, and I'm not trying to, but like around Christmas and stuff, people will be a little more giving sometimes, but we have to eat all year round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have that, this June, kind of the giving time. And then, hopefully it'll last a little while, maybe get through the spring, summer time a little bit,
And I mean, our food bank is phenomenal.
Oh.
The individuals, I know, Paul Cyphers, all the work that he did before his passing.
Yeah.
And now I know Roseanne Quattroke helps with it, and many, many other people who, keep that going for the people in our community.
Got the opportunity to volunteer, and I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing. And yeah, it's really good. And if anybody has any volunteer time, extra time, you'd like to volunteer, go talk to them and see.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they could use the help for sure. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's go back. We are going to be talking about what's coming up and a lot going on, but we had the Fair Board meeting last night.
We did.
Big meeting. It was open to the public.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
So they hold a public meeting every month that is always open to the public. Anybody can attend, not just officers and directors, which is what you and I fall under, Becky, as our involvement, and everyone is a volunteer. And I think that's very important to know.
Say it louder for the people in the back. I know.
Everyone is a volunteer. All directors are volunteers. All officers are volunteers. So it's just people who want to give their time and their talents to the fair. So we had our open meeting for the month of May. And right now our current board president is Rose Anderson, who kind of stepped in a couple years ago when Brock Chastain had some other commitments, and he needed to step back a little bit from the fair board. So Rose stepped in and took over the presidency.
Wonderful.
And then, of course, Tom Day, our VP, who will next year take into that presidency spot. Sharon Smedley and Kevin Stewart serving as our secretary and our treasurer. So lots of pieces are coming together or clicking. We talked about how we received a $25,000 grant from the Washington County Community Foundation to purchase some new bleachers that will actually be for next year's fair. But just keeping things updated on the fairgrounds property, keeping things safe for our spectators, nice new upgrades to some of our buildings. And then we talked about, speaking of upgrades, have you seen our goat barn? Our goat barn got some nice new upgrades with the help of sponsors. I know Farm Bureau helped, and Blue River Farm Services. Terry Lee has been helping up there. And then, our superintendents with Tom Coates, Jeremy Hardwick, Aaron Fordyce, and just a lot of other really good families kind of going in to upgrade that building a little bit, putting in some time and, their talents. So that was definitely, if you drive by, that's what's going on. So not to shock anybody and be like, what in the world did they do the goat barn? They're making some needed upgrades.
Yeah, definely. Love it. Well, they've got superpowers, those that can do all that too. I mean,
goodness.
yeah, once you,
yes.
And their hearts are obviously, how awesome for them to give of their time and their talents, what a blessing.
Absolutely. And then we talked about Kids Day, who is kind of being taken over by Miss Bailey Hardwick, Miss Washington County 2024. Bailey has done a phenomenal, literally senior year, into college, and she's doing a great job. I know that she was able to get some bicycles donated by Walmart. I heard them on your sponsorship list. So that'll be Wednesday of fair, and that is a free event for anyone to come to. I believe she said that she is at 18 different stations, but she would like to get up to 25. So if you know of any sponsors, or if any sponsors, clubs, businesses would like to participate, Bailey still has some room, and she has a very big goal of getting 25 different things in there for kids to do. So I know WSLM normally we have the dance party going on. Dance party in front of Commercial One over there. So get in touch with Bailey, and we do have that information posted also. And then we talked about things going on in the grandstands. Isaiah McVeigh, he runs such a smooth operation down there with the demo derby, and then we're doing the Crown Vics and it's Crown Vic's.
Rodeo too.
Yep. Oh, and of course we cannot forget the rodeo. Liz Lawson.
Giddy up. Mhm.
Liz Lawson and the rodeo, and all of the organizations that have donated to bring that to us. Not just a one-night rodeo, but we have a 2-night rodeo.
I'm so excited.
And we have some Washington County riders
Love this.
participating.
Love
I
this.
believe Liz can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But then, like I said, Isaiah McVeigh is doing the demo derby, and then the Crown Vics and Scrappers. That's what will happen Friday night, Thursday into Friday. So he does a very nice job down there, and all the rules and things. I was reading over some of those rules, and I was like, I know nothing about demo derbies or races of any kind. And Isaiah has it all lined out for us, and all the rules and specs are posted.
Nicole, they had to do that for years. I mean, years ago, they didn't have all those rules. And
oh my goodness.
It was a lot of fun, but
yes,
they had to kind of get some rules. Yeah. In place.
And I mean, the demo derby, the amount of people that come to the demo derby, I mean, it is a fun night, and you never know what's going to happen.
No, I know. And some folks, like, you'll not see them all year round, and then they'll come out to the demo derby. You know what I mean? If you want to see everybody in your community come out to the demo derby is when, everyone comes out,
Yes. And I know we do have reserve seating for that. So if you want any reserve seating or any pits or anything like that, like we do offer those. So we talked about the different working pieces, and with help from the county, of course. Mr. Boyles was there to kind of, make sure that the county knows how we need them in different areas with bringing things in and out of the fairgrounds, dirt, rock, things like that, and whatnot. And then, of course, Taylor Chastain, our phenomenal, and I'm sure I'm very biased, our phenomenal 4-H educator. I just think she does such a nice job. And I love that she is one of the individuals who I got to see, from a young age go up through 4-H and FFA and,
absolutely.
Salem graduate. And then to come back and take over that position for, Purdue Extension and be such an important part for our kids and our community. And I mean, she does a phenomenal job. So, and of course our entire extension office.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just Taylor, but Danielle and Sonia and Rhonda and Melissa. Definitely. They field a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So we talked about, making sure we have all of those things in line. And then we've got, of course, another grandstand event. The truck and tractor pull is always a good time. And they do a very nice job with that.
Yeah.
And then,
which I love, the truck and tractor pull, and a lot of fun too. Yeah.
Yes. And then we cannot forget our royalty, if you will, because unfortunately Bailey cannot continue her reign as Miss Washington County, and Cynthia Elliott, our wonderful teen, Washington County. So Becky DeWeese kind of filled us in on all things teen and queen. Addie was a part of the teen court last year, her first time ever.
And was that exciting?
Yes, it was very exciting.
You were probably wore out though, right? A lot of work.
Yes, it was very tiring because after shows I would have to go help with another one. So then I was like running around, kind of rushing to change clothes and be ready for the next thing that I have to do.
Always closed-toed shoes.
Yes.
Yes. Always closed-toed shoes. No open shoes in the show arena. But Becky, reminder that of course you, Becky, are over the baby contest.
Yeah.
And that also, you can find the entry form for that in the fair book. And we digitized it this year. And I saw, I believe, as of last night, even within the first hour, you have 3 people already signed up. Like, I no sooner posted it than we got people entered, ready to go.
Good year for babies.
It is. And, unfortunately.
Yay for life, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, we do not have the Little Miss and Master, but hopefully we will have a wonderful volunteer step in and take that over for us next year.
Yeah.
Addie just pointed to me, no, thank you. Like, I love Little Miss and Master, but that I love that
Addie is so cute. How Addie, volunteers you and Seth for a lot. I love that. Yeah. You guys can do this. You guys, I love it.
We're really involved in the community already, so I think why not just do it? and
Just do it.
actually get the credit for it than just help with it.
Oh, there you go.
So I think, Seth and I always kind of make sure that our kids, not just Addison, who's here with me, but also Camden, they know, the importance of community.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, fair is a good reflection of that.
Well, that's the way I was raised too, because we never, like our family, we always everything was all about the fair week, and we never took a family vacation till after fair, which was always difficult because the fair used to be a lot later.
Oh, yes,
and we'd have like a week in between before school started, you know what I mean? So it was always kind of so that was always important. And I think that Addie, like what you and Seth and Camden, it'll always forever be in their heart.
Yes. And
I think there's several of us like that.
Unfortunately, I did not have anything 4-H or FFA when
you
I was
jumped
younger.
right in. You're not no. You've been drinking the water way too much with us.
Both my parents grew up on farms, but I grew up in Orleans, Indiana, right in town. Never really owned an animal or anything like that. And then lo and behold, I married an ag teacher, and here I am. So, and I've been blessed to get to know the importance of 4-H and FFA and all things agriculture. But, hopefully,
I love that.
And hopefully more and more kids in our community get involved in, because there's so many different things with 4-H and FFA. I mean, you look like in our fair book, and if you don't necessarily want to go the 4-H route, we do have the open class building. Again, Shelly Smith and Stacy Gilbert and their team of volunteers do a great job with open class. And there's a variety of things, from sewing and crafts to photography to canning to quilting. The quilters we have in this community.
I love it.
And I know that they have a quilt show coming up too. So make sure we know about that. I believe they hold it at Southern Hills. So, but just yet another thing. So if you want to be in fair, definitely take a glance at the open class. There's a bunch of different things going on. And I know we also have open class poultry during Fair Week. Dana Green is over that for us as the building superintendent for it. And then of course we mentioned the baby contest at Brady Shrum.
Yeah.
So that will be happening in the morning.
Yeah. And the Brady Shrum's always so in the school. I want to say our three or our schools, but right now Salem has been so generous with letting us host activities there, from the queen to the teen to the baby. I mean, I think that's so nice. And of course, if there's bad weather or anything, it always works out really well. It's in a controlled weather environment, environment there.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Our school's very kind about letting us use the facilities.
Absolutely agree with you 100% on that. I love that, and we are very centrally located, obviously, the county seat, but just shout out to our, custodians and the summer and all that keep them looking, and it's a lot of work in the summertime for them and the amount of time that
that's
they
when
have.
the deep cleaning and everything, like whenever, it's just like at home when everybody's gone, when you can get in there and do the deep cleaning, and they do a wonderful job. I remember, I had several daughters, but I remember when Abby was giving her going away speech as queen, lightning was in the back.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's because this was back when it was outdoors, at the actual at the fairgrounds.
Yes, with the trailer.
Yeah, it was like one of the last times that it actually was there, or at the fairgrounds. And I remember the scare of watching all of this. You wanted to hear her speech and wanted to hear her, but the scare of that lightning and everything. So that was like whenever they kind of decided, let's move it where we have a more controlled environment. So that's when it went to.
Yes.
Which I'm so thankful for,
And with that, I mean, normally, knock on wood, we don't have a ton of rain during fair, but it always seems like there's that one day
night, or something.
Or, something unusual. So
and then the other ones, which the other daughters were inside. So that was a blessing, when they could give their, their speeches,
and Becky Deweese and her team do a great job with our queen pageant, and Becky, and just the knowledge that she has in terms of not only making sure that our fair queen and court are ready for our fair, but then prepping them for state fair.
Oh, beautiful.
And I mean,
absolutely.
Like, state fair it's the whole month of August, I mean, it's here, and they
Love
have
the state.
Queen's
I do love
Day,
the state fair. Yeah.
and oh yes,
Yeah.
the food at the state fair. Oh my.
Oh, we ate so much the last time. It was just, yeah, it was. I felt like on Charlotte's Web,
Oh yes.
Templeton or whatever. Yeah, I was. Yeah, so many different things to try, and if you just try bites of everything, it's just like crazy. But going back real quick to Becky DeWeese, her program, I've always wanted to really, we've always make sure we highlight it every year, because her program, when you go through her program and you go through, you're going to get wonderful life lessons, training. You are going to be such a better young person for that training. And Nicole, the training that you get normally somewhere else would cost money. What Becky DeWeese is getting for free.
Exactly.
And volunteering, I'm saying.
So Becky, I believe,
I'm a huge
as a parent,
yes,
not really knowing a lot, and last year being Addison's first time ever doing something pageant-esque, pageant-like. It was amazing the amount of work that Becky puts into each individual girl and then the group as a whole. Lots of like one-on-one or small group discussing things from ways to have posture and speak, down to like colors and coordinating of things and how things appear in photographs, making sure, again, we have closed-toe shoes for all of our shows, and making sure they know their schedule. Absolutely, because I know they come on Coffee Club quite a bit.
They do.
So that is definitely important. And then coordinating even beyond our fair, at the state level, like Queen's Day at the Indiana State Fair. And then, of course, they crowned the new Indiana State Fair in January at the Fair and Festivals parade. And I believe this year's Queen is Pilar, and very exciting. And it's not just you think like, oh, she's the Indiana State Fair Queen. The girls that run for Indiana State Fair Queen, they're doing huge things. There were a number of them this year that were Indy 500 princesses.
I know. They were, they do. No, this is not, you're going to get, they're going to be a lot of work involved.
And a lot of them use their experiences not only at the county level, but at the state level to go on and do things. I know there was a queen a couple years ago. Her first name is Tate, and she lives down near Evansville, and she's a small business owner. And does very well. And we see her at a lot of the open shows that we do with Addie and Cam and the cattle. But just the things that they learn at that level, again, speaking, speech writing, because a lot of them have public speaking engagements, are on the news or on the radio or on TV, things like that. It's just amazing. And Becky, she is a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely.
She just has a wealth of knowledge.
And she won't leave you. She will go with you further, to the state if you want, and will make you feel comfortable, get you prepped, ready. So, she's going to go the full mile. And we know
some conversations are not always, the easiest to have, because there are certain expectations that come along with that.
Sure.
So, sometimes she's not afraid to be the bad guy.
Well, I think sometimes it's like anything, like, you win the crown and then you don't realize what all goes into it. And that's something that, that all of the hard work, and just like Addie was talking about, there's a lot of days where you have to, you're working for hours there at the barns, and, or, and she'll have you at the events and stuff. And you'll be doing, like Shop with the Cop, you'll be doing things, different events in the community too, so there's a lot that goes with it, responsibility, but it'll be the best time of your life.
My gosh. And
people are so cool.
I always think, how does Bailey and speak, not that past queens have not done a phenomenal job. Absolutely. We have so many past, Washington County Fair Queens that are still so active and so involved in a number of things. But Bailey, I'm always like, she adds in one more thing, like Old Settlers Days, Shop with a Cop.
Absolutely.
Making things to donate at the warming station.
She helped with my prom dress giveaway. She donated dresses.
You give her the option and she will jump right in. And
she's fantastic on that. So yes, great program. Love it. And want more people to please get involved with this. And please, if you have have they already done the cutoff deadline for the queens?
No, they have not. And Becky mentioned they may be extending it. So we posted that information on our Facebook page, and you can always stop in. Becky owns Merle Norman. Just near the
It'd be-
bingo hall.
Yeah,
area?
it'd be 135 south.
Yes,
Mhm.
135 south, up on the hilltop. Is
Mhm,
that I
mhm.
believe what they call that
Yep.
area. So you can call Merle Norman. We also posted a direct number to call her. And I know Addie, you seem pretty excited about doing the teen again this year.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So I think you like the service part. What was some of your favorite things about doing the pageant?
Some of my favorite things were getting to know the girls and getting to know what they like and their interests and like what they want to do and why they're doing the teen and queen pageant. And then I loved being at fair. I loved watching the little kids at Kids Day. I liked helping with all the shows, even though I couldn't go to some of them because I show myself. But it was very fun just to.
Oh, and Senior Citizens Day. We cannot
Oh,
forget about Senior
no, how
Citizens
wonderful.
Day.
Yeah,
Doing bingo
yeah.
with the senior citizens always going to be my top thing.
Yes, and Hoosier
I loved
Uplands. Hoosier
Yeah.
Uplands, I know, is sponsoring that again this year. So, and of course, Beacon has kind of stepped in to help with the sponsorship of Kids Day.
Mhm.
But just, as a parent, you love seeing
Oh,
your kids grow and kind of get involved at the same time. A little piece of your heart is like, oh, they're not little anymore.
No. Because Addie, you start high school this year.
I do.
You are right now, since you've already graduated 8th grade. Now you are officially a freshman of the Salem High School.
Yes, I am.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to be in denial
Nicole,
until August.
Nicole's
I'm
in
going to be
shock.
in
She's
denial.
denial. I know. Yeah. That's crazy to think. This is your freshman summer here, starting it.
Yeah.
And we've got cheer,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank
that'll be
you.
fun.
But
Loved every minute of
speaking of school things, one thing we are kind of in need of for the fair parade is someone to help us collect canned goods along the parade route. I know the Salem Military Club has done it before for us, the football team. So if you are an organization or a school team and you want some community involvement, some community service,
Love that.
And wouldn't mind helping us out, please let us know. Or even if a couple want to go together and help us, absolutely.
What would that entail?
So they kind of start at the front of the parade route. And typically they're kind of a walking unit with maybe some trucks or things like that to put the canned goods in. And then they drop them off to us at the fair board office, and we make sure that they get then to the food bank.
Love that.
So it's
Which
kind of
we actually do, Mom.
Yep,
We
which
usually
usually we I am part of the group that drops it off so that we know the final weight.
Yeah.
Because we do everything by weight in donations.
Mhm.
So that is something, again, anybody wanting to get involved, there's an opportunity for you to come and help us.
Love this.
Because again, all of our officers, all of our directors, we are all volunteers. Again, we do this because we care about our county, we care about our kids, and we just want to make this the best fair ever every year.
Yeah.
I feel like we always try to outdo it a little more each year. And we do have a new carnival.
I know. I was
A
gonna
new
say,
carnival coming this year.
It's
So
exciting.
if any of your listeners were at Dogwood Festival this year, that was a preview because we have more space than Dogwood does. Of course, Dogwood is kind of confined to 3 sides of the square there. So Fun Time Carnival is coming, and they will run Monday through Saturday. We do have the 3-day ride bracelets from Monday to Wednesday, and those are available at Beacon. They are $45 this year. So unfortunately, like all things, the price did go up, and we understand some people that definitely can impact their decision whether to buy them or not. But we do still have individual tickets as well as single day ride bracelets. But that 3-day bracelet is really where you're going to kind of get the most for your money. So Fun Time Carnival, and I know Kevin shared last night at our meeting, he was able to take some pictures. So hopefully we'll get those up so that people can see a preview. Again, just a preview because we have more space.
Yeah.
And I know they're going to bring some of the bigger rides because our biggest feedback last year was that we need something more for the teen.
Yeah.
Because all those kids that we needed smaller rides a few years ago,
yeah,
they decided to grow up
Girl,
on us.
I know
you
it happens. Yeah. Well, we've got some thrill seekers in our community.
I think
So
we do.
I know we do. Yeah.
We
So
have
Nicole, a lot of thrill seekers.
So,
So
you
we
know,
need, yeah, we
Beyond
need
crazy dance, because the crazy dance line, that line was
That
crazy.
line
Yeah.
was really
It was.
bad.
Yeah.
I thought they
We
might
need
wrap around the
some-
midway.
Yeah, we need some stuff that
It
like
almost
really,
did once.
Did it?
The first night it did.
yeah. So yeah, we need some stuff to really sock it to us for sure.
And I know we do have some pre-fair things going on.
Yeah.
One that I know may be close to your heart with the Smedley Scholarship Horse Show.
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
with
Yeah.
your family
Mhm,
history and
mhm.
horses. So we've got that actually coming up Sunday. And of
Love
course that connects with Sharon Smedley, who is our
Oh.
board secretary.
Just how
Fantastic.
close
And-
fair is.
Yep. And then again, just how close fair is going
Yeah.
to be here before we know it.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, like we'll kick off with the fashion review, and that will be on the 5th. So
I
in
did that
communication.
years ago. The fashion review. I made a dress, a sailor dress. I still have it.
Really?
Yeah.
We're in the midst of all the sewing projects. Luckily, when I personally never took home ec, now known as family consumer science.
Because her mother taught it.
Yeah, when your mom teaches it, you don't always want to take it. But my mom is a phenomenal sewer, and so is my mother-in-law Benita. And so, again, I look at it as giving memories to Addie.
There we go.
With
yeah.
sewing projects with Grandma and Nana.
Yeah, I
Sewing
love that.
time. So yesterday, I know they were working on some sewing, but it's one of those things like I am not the best at it, but I will find
Yeah,
who
like-
is, and everybody has time and talents.
Absolutely, yeah. I did it with my mom, so that was always special. That was extremely special for me too.
And I will
Just
say,
like-
last year was the first time that I ever really sewed a lot, and I used a serger that shows
Oh,
you
it was scary.
that shows you my
She's got the terminology.
my beginner
I
skill
thought that she was
level.
gonna cut off her finger.
Oh
No, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, I was scared. I was thinking the worst.
But I mean, there is just, I think we just love fair. Like
Well, yeah,
we just love fair.
yeah, there's so many learning experiences, so many cool people to meet, fun people to meet, and it's just part of the community things we do.
Absolutely. And visit Washington County with our tourism. They have done a great job helping us fund the publications and things like that. And we want people to come to our county and to see all the things that we have to offer.
Right.
And fair is a great example of that, because not only, again, do you have the 4-H programs, but you have the commercial buildings,
Mhm.
all the small
Absolutely.
businesses and organizations, churches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes it isn't always easy to find,
Mhm.
I would say.
And the more
And
people
fair,
that keep getting involved, the more the actual showers and the helpers feel appreciated, because as a showman myself, it's very fun to see people want to get involved and coming out to see those animals and see what you have done and see what you do for your community, and it's just so amazing to see them do that.
I agree. That's
you know,
good. Yeah.
they always talk about like athletics. We want to jam the gym. So I think for 4-H and stuff, we want to fill the barn,
I
fill
agree. Fill the barn.
in a safe way.
Well, and something we're very blessed at, and I always like to highlight. Okay, first of all, it's a free fair.
It is.
It's
We are
free.
a free
It's
fair.
free to no charge to come up. And then if you want to go visit all of the animals, walk around, see all of the animals, walk around and see all the 4-H projects, walk around and see, all of the different also the different exhibits for the exhibits. And if you got the like you said, open class, you've got the regular, the 4-Hers. I mean, you've got so much. Just doing that is like a whole night. If you really like to see. And then if you sit down and watch some of the shows, which I love to watch the shows too,
Mhm.
to see the different showmanship and see the judges. It's always exciting to see the youngsters and see the different family members, and then support them. And then there's always free entertainment
Free
at the top.
entertainment at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Which this year's going to be some real, you guys,
Oh my
this is going to be fun.
So again, I might be a little biased, but you got like
Me too.
the Salem Guitar Club.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to Matt Atkins and that group of individuals.
So much
I
fun.
mean, a program that Greg McCurdy,
I know.
you know, kind of was the foundational part. And he and Dan Mullins,
I know.
they're part of the free
I
entertainment
cannot
this year.
wait.
Both past Salem educators. And Matt has just continued to do
Love it.
a phenomenal job. And I think this year they called, they made a tour, the guitar club did, and it's the 0.25 GPA tour. Kind of a little inside joke amongst them.
Yeah.
But they will be there. Classic country is going to be there. I know we have the line dancers that are going to be there also.
Love to watch
those
them.
line dancers.
Oh my
They
goodness.
pulled me and Cynthia in last year. On our way to bingo.
And Greg Rhodes is
Such
always a good time.
Always. Yeah.
You know,
So much fun.
Love it. Yeah.
but just so many things. And then we talk about the state fair food, but oh my goodness.
Oh.
Our
Westview,
Washington County
Westview
food.
Church.
Ooh.
I don't know how you have so many talented cooks in your congregation, but bless them.
Yeah.
Because they keep me alive.
God
during
shines
fair.
on them,
Yes.
Nicole.
So Westview, and
Yeah.
we have the Lions Club, and of
Oh,
course
yeah.
the Salem Band.
Oh yeah.
I think Addie's French fries from there usually at least once,
Oh,
if
yeah.
not multiple times a day. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my nutrition watching as a parent during fair is not always the best.
There's
But
no calories on Fair Week.
I go and I eat something healthy before,
okay,
and then
okay.
I get lettuce for my rabbits.
the lettuces for the rabbits.
So she
Yes.
completely justifies this. I love it.
I know.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, you can always finish the night with your sweet treat Haze lemonade.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Usually I have ice cream after the
And
show.
then the Clover
Mhm.
Creamery, which helps benefit the 4-H program.
Absolutely.
I mean, so
their ice cream
and
so
the snow
good.
cones.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, what
many-
about the
so-
elephant ears?
Oh,
the funnel
and the funnel
cake.
cakes. Okay, and the deep fried Oreos.
Don't
I-
even. I
Oh
know.
goodness.
Mm.
Addie's not a deep fried, but I remember years ago,
Used to, I was a
Sharon
deep fried
Smedley's
fan.
granddaughter Mackenzie,
Uh-huh.
when she was younger, she was still in school. They had a variety of deep fried things. I mean, we're talking like deep fried Oreos, deep fried cupcakes, deep fried cinnamon butter that like instantly melts, obviously. But I think that might have been too much. We might have overloaded too much on the on the deep fried
I just
goodness.
can't do deep fried food. It's just
like-
too much.
No.
It's like a flight of it. You know,
Yes.
they have it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know we had some phenomenal, one of the new ones from last year was out of the Charlestown area. And it was like different kinds of burritos and tacos, and Seth, I know, enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, Dad went there like every night.
Yes. But it was all fresh.
And
Yeah,
then he would never
oh,
bring me
So,
any.
you know, it was healthier. I mean,
He would get himself food, but wouldn't bring it to me.
no, I'm sorry.
Well, that's he's gonna have to work on that.
Yeah.
Feed your kid too.
Yeah, that's your.
You're calling Dad out on the radio.
I know. Seth is like, he's like somewhere at home or in the car going, I did. You were busy. I'm sure. Yeah. You
I mean,
probably,
it's,
yeah.
probably
Oh, it's hard.
off of the
Fair
I'm
week.
friends.
always
Oh.
running, trying to hang out with my friends, still see my
Because
family.
school's out for summer, so
Yeah, it's
everybody
fine.
meet up at
That's
the fair.
exactly right. Absolutely. That's kind of what
Take
what
a nap
we
in
do.
the hammock.
And
Yeah.
of course, we could not have.
Our fair without our wonderful helpers.
Yes.
Our helpers are amazing. They're always in the barns.
But not just in the barns, the tractors.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
love
The
that. It's my favorite
tractor.
ride. My favorite ride.
Philip Colglazier was talking about them. We have two. We're hoping to get a third. So if anyone is capable of properly and safely,
Right.
helping him, Philip Colglazier. And I mean, just the amount of work constantly doing the big
Oh.
circle loop. You know how it
Yeah.
is.
You
And
gotta
that's
go
part
on
of
a
what
tractor
helps
ride.
with us and the free parking at the bottom of the hill, additional transportation. But then our sheriff's department
Oh.
and, Sheriff Miller,
his team is fantastic.
And
Yeah,
our
they're like,
wonderful EMTs that are always there.
and our
Oh.
EMTs and our
Everything.
law enforcement that help, keep everybody safe.
I know it's so important. Yeah. And Eric Mills, the whole team, everybody, just
Yes.
his team too.
We also have to call out our wonderful vet, Dr. Ellen. She's
Oh,
always on call.
Dr. Wslm.
She's so
yes.
amazing.
Yeah. Everybody's just so it takes everybody, together, working together and coming together. And I think,
But there are some fairs around us that are not free fairs that you have to
I
pay to park.
know. Yeah.
And of course with fair, obviously there are things you can opt to pay for. So food,
Yeah.
the amusement things. but you can still come to our fair and have like the best time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And of course, we're grateful that Ascension, they are going to have their booth right there at the entrance of the open class building. So that partnership, again,
nice.
Forever important. And I know we have Kids Day.
Yes, we have
everybody that comes to that. And again, shout out to Bailey. And if you want to be a part of Kids Day, she still needs some additional organizations. And there's a variety of things you can do. We have face painting. We have handing out popsicles.
And we have, it's like all ages. Because I've even seen teens doing it last year, and they were still having fun. Kids Day is
football tosses, beanbag tosses. I was trying to think. Oh, we have the Silly Safari is coming.
Duck pond thing.
Oh, yes. I think Hoosier Uplands does it.
Somebody else does too. Can't remember. And then the cup stacking one last year was really fun.
Yes. And then the
hot dogs.
balloons.
They did free hot dogs too.
Yes.
We are actually trying to find someone to do that. So the goal when we did the kids meals last year was to kind of have it rotate. So I know we've had a church do it previously. The Salem band parents have done it previously. So we are still one more thing that, we're looking if your church or organization would like to do. We kept it pretty simple last year. Hot dog, chips, and I believe they did a Kool-Aid Jam or a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
So
thank Lord for those band parents.
And I mean, if if we want to find anybody that would donate that stuff, maybe we could find somebody to man a grill for us that morning. And help out with that. Sure. But then, I mean, also, I love that we have different producers. So we've got the pork producers who, of course, will be coming back. The pork chops and the Washington County Cattlemen.
Have mercy.
Everybody loves a good
and
ribeye.
The crowd said yes.
Yes, and the Sheep Association, the lamb fajitas. Okay, so I will admit I never really tried lamb until fair, and then you have a lamb fajita with the peppers and onions and.
I can't do it. I had, I had sheep. I just can't.
I know. And I think the first time I did, I'm pretty sure Seth didn't tell me.
Okay. That sounds right. That sounds right. Well, I'm not, and I'm all for, for people. Yes, you go, girl. I'll take your word 100%. But the pork and the cattle, I'm in.
Oh, yes.
I'll make up strongly with them. For sure.
And we added some new picnic tables in that area also to better accommodate seating.
Yeah. I remember
so if you need some place to
go get food for me and my family or one of my friends, and it's just like, this is so good. I don't know why I don't come here more often, but I should, because it's always cooked fresh, and it's always, everybody's so nice in all those associations, and they deserve all the credit for it. They do amazing, wonderful.
And again,
dogs.
they volunteer to come there and make it, and you see them grilling out by kind of the back area of the 4-H building.
Smell it.
Oh, I know, it kind of like takes over the aromatics.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then it's just like, I'm hungry all the time. Like it's just like you smell the food and you want it.
Definitely. Yeah.
And of course, all fair things have to come to an end with the auction.
Oh yeah.
Which we appreciate all of the individuals that come and support, again, our 4-H program through buying their animals that go up for the auction. And Sarah Day does a great job organizing the auction meal that takes place. Normally you'll find Addie and I in there and some of the other 4-H families helping her. But again, Sarah Day just does a great job making sure that we have that every year for the individuals that participate in the auction, whether you're a seller or a buyer. So that always kind of concludes us. And Supreme Showmanship. Okay, so Supreme Showmanship this year is we're going back to the 2. So we'll have the small animal Supreme Showmanship. And both will take place on Friday night. And then the small animal will be followed by the large animal showmanship. So it's just, again, another opportunity for, those kids that do earn the title of showman, for their
especially
species.
All our 10-year members. They're so amazing. They help out all the younger kids. They do so many things for 4-H. And it's just like amazing that they've done it for 10 years and they've stuck with it and went through with everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think there's like 14 or 15 of them. I think there's,
14.
Yep,
14. I thought there was like 14, 15.
14 10-year members.
That's pretty awesome. That's fantastic.
And I love, of course, we are one of the counties that does the mini showmanship with the help and sponsorship of Premier Agriculture. And it's just such an amazing mentorship program, because that's really what it is. You know, the regular 4-H members teaching those in mini. So you start mini when you're in kindergarten. So you go K1, 2, 3 years opportunity to learn and grow the basic, get those foundational things in. As a teacher, as a school board member, I'm sure, you know, those are important. But in the classroom, we
absolutely.
Even still, as like regular 4-Hers, you're still learning stuff from the people that are older than you.
Yeah.
Because some of our new members last year, people were helping because they were supposed to go to Supreme Showmanship, because one of our new members last year, Paxton Gibson, he went to Supreme, and he actually came up and asked people for help, and he got the help he needed. Like, I had people come and asking me for rabbit help. Carson Little, he's so amazing. He helps with our poultry.
Some of our alumni.
He had people coming and asking him for help with poultry and everything like that. He was so helpful with that. And it's just, we're so thankful for the people that help us during Fair Week, because that takes the stress off of us, and then we know what we're doing, because we don't want to hurt our animals, because our animals are important to us, because that goes into our food chain, and just, it's people's, and you don't want to hurt them. So we love it when people help us.
And it's nice to always see our 4-H members that graduate and go on, them to come back, excuse me, and take on a role as a 4-H volunteer.
Oh, that speaks volumes.
I mean, Addie said Carson Little, Lindy Barksdale does a great job, Tristan Miller. I mean, you know, and so many more. And it's just, you know, you see that years later, they still have this love for 4-H, this love for a fair.
Absolutely.
And are always willing to kind of step in and help. And sometimes they might be a little rusty, but they'll give you everything they got, everything they remember. And it's just awesome to see that.
I was a 4-Her, and I think that, like, I know what they're going through when they have animals, you know what I mean? You know, from a lot of getting animals ready, getting, you know, making sure the whole week, making sure they're taken care of well, you know.
You want to make sure that the people that are around them stay safe and everything like that. Because in the cattle barn especially, you don't want to get too close, because there are cows that can kick and can bite you. And it's just like, you're always wanting to be there to watch what happens. Because in the past, I've heard of people getting kicked because they got too close to a cow or something like that.
And I think that's always something we have to be mindful. So as much as we love people coming to the fair, there is still that element of safety. Like, you know, strollers especially can sometimes be a little concerning. So just a reminder to people to be mindful, especially with strollers, small children. Don't stick fingers in cages, especially chickens, rabbits.
Don't get in.
Don't frighten pigs sometimes. Sheep, cattle, if they don't know you, some cattle can be spooked. And if you're not their owner.
They're a lot of time, their first time at the fair. I mean, you know, they're
so it's not there every day at the barn.
Right.
Well, last year I had one of my calves, and she was so amazing. She was so sweet to everybody. But it's when I wasn't there. So one of our helpers that was there, because I was having my rabbit show, and there was this little boy, and he wanted to pet her. Well, that helper, he said, "Oh yeah, you can go up and pet her." Well, he hit her in the ribs, and she
got a little spooked.
She got spooked. She accidentally flipped herself over, and then we ended up having to untie her, get her up, and then retie her.
Yeah, no one was hurt, but she got a little spooked because she didn't know. Somebody came out of her sideline, and so we do always remind people to be mindful around the animals.
Well, yeah, I think that that makes sense.
And we apologize to the parent.
We didn't mean to scare anybody.
Yeah.
But you know, as much as we want you to come see those animals, we do need to make sure that we are being
very
safe and respectful of their boundaries.
Yeah.
You know,
and not just our own.
But I mean, if you want to pet an animal, always 100% make sure that you ask the owner. Most of our 4-Hers are really good.
These are good public service announcements.
They know their animals' temperaments.
Yeah.
A lot of like the rabbits. So we know little kids, you see cages and fingers want to be poked in. Instead of doing that, you might see if the owner's around. I know usually Addie, if she's around, she'll get them out and she'll hold the rabbit. So then she'll kind of instruct where is a good place to pet them if you want to pet their fur. Chickens are a little bit more
Ooh.
challenging. They're
Yeah.
not always
Yeah.
they're not always the easiest
I have
to.
one that's pretty laid back and easy, so I can get her out
And then of
pet
course
on her.
cows. Their biggest thing is they want to be able to see you.
Right.
And the same thing with the sheep, the goats, the pigs.
Right.
So always make sure that if you want to pet an animal,
Mhm.
kind of go with the permission
I love that.
out of safety.
Yeah.
So go with
Permission.
permission out of
Makes
safety.
sense. Sure.
So, but yeah, we've got so much going on with fair. Again, there's kind of something for everybody.
Mhm.
So, I know
Make sure
we've
to check
got
it
baby contest, we've got queen and teen, we've got the truck and tractor pulls. Oh, horseshoe pitching. In the
huge.
bottom parking lot. I know we
Huge.
have a lot of people that like to participate in that. And then, of course, we have the fair parade on Sunday, the 15th. We know it's Father's Day. Bring dad to watch the parade,
Yeah.
family bonding.
What a great way to honor dad, right?
Great way to honor dad.
There's a parade for you, Dad.
Maybe we need some signage that says Happy Father's Day
Yeah,
to kind of help us
exactly.
in there. And then that night we'll have the 4-H open house to see kind of the static projects
Love that.
that are in the 4-H building. Again, that's the blue building that's kind of in the center. And then Monday,
Just a reminder, the rabbit show is not on the day of
rabbit
parade.
show is now
It
on
has
Wednesday
been moved
morning.
to Wednesday
Okay.
morning
Okay.
Yes.
because
So
we've had issues with that in the past.
Okay.
then we got Lone Star Rodeo. Again, that'll be our Monday, Tuesday grandstand. So everybody ready for the rodeo. Senior Citizens Day, that will be on Tuesday. Kids Day organized by Miss Bailey Hardwick, Miss 2024, Miss Washington County. That will be on Wednesday. Wslm, I'm sure, will be having their dance party for everybody.
Absolutely.
And then on Thursday and Friday, we've got racing. Thursday, we're doing the heats with Isaiah McVeigh kind of being that organizer. And then Friday will be the winners of the heats at the grandstand. And then on Saturday, we have the livestock auction. That will start at 9:30. So 4-Hers, a little reminder, make sure you go do your auction cards. I know Addie and Cam still need to do theirs. So a
Oopsie.
gentle reminder,
Oopsie.
4-Hers, please do those auction cards.
I don't have to worry too much about
And then
it.
we'll
I
have the demo
shows.
derby on Saturday, the 21st. Everybody loves a good demo derby. I think, there's always like the hope that they don't have to get out the fire extinguishers or anything like
I
that.
know.
But shout out to the Salem Fire Department and all the
Yes.
volunteer fire
Yeah.
departments.
Yeah.
I know they're always ready for safety.
They do fantastic.
And then after fair, we do have some other events. We've got the 4-H Dog Show.
Mhm.
Emily Gibson and Denise McNew kind of are over there, our dog, 4-H dog, and that will be on July 15th. And then on the 20th will be the 4-H Horse and Pony Show.
Mhm.
And I know I've got some students that are riders, and so we'll hopefully be able to catch that. And then before we know it, it'll be the end of summer
Oh,
and
I
the Indiana
know.
State Fair, and school will be upon us again. So.
Yeah. Exciting. Yay. Well, this has been a fun morning and good morning. And, I love the meeting last night and new stuff, new people, new faces. But then some of the, I don't want to say the old faces that we know too, it's mixing everybody together.
Well, I kind of forgot, and I know we had talked about it just a little bit, but we do have 2 Fair Board officers,
Yeah.
2 positions, so vice president and treasurer, and we have a nominating committee, Jeremy Hardwick, Cheryl Lee, and Danny Lipka.
Mhm.
So those will be openings for anyone who may be interested.
Who wants to get involved? Who wants to be a part?
Yeah. And I mean, Kevin has been a long time treasurer. I'm not going to say how long because he might get mad at me. Sorry, Kevin. But
years.
that's not an easy position.
Oh,
that is not,
no, not at all.
With all the
No. Different events going on.
aspects
Absolutely. And
going
different
into
events.
it.
Sure.
And then of course, kind of the role of the vice president. So everything is on a 2-year term. And Addie remembers somewhat, but Seth was vice president
Sure
and then Fair Board president. Just a few years ago. We won't call him out on that either. But you kind of start your first 2 years as the vice president, knowing that then after those 2 years, you'll take over the presidency.
Right.
So after this year, Rose will kind of conclude her presidency, and then Mr. Day will step into his 2 years as president. So he'll need a strong vice president who's ready to come in and work and get stuff done and be very mindful of the community organizations and, be willing to work.
Love that. Love that. Love that.
And Addie tried to volunteer her dad again. So
I love that.
If you're listening, Seth,
right.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Oh, I love that, Addie. You keep going, girl. Mom and dad can do it. My mom can do it. My dad can do it. You go.
She's always quick to volunteer.
I love
It's
that.
because
Love that.
I know that they're strong people and I know they can do stuff and I know that they know what's right for the community.
But if anyone else is interested, that's
I love
not
that.
me.
Look
go,
at Nicole's
go Seth
going.
and Nicole for
Yeah.
the next position.
Love that. Love
So if anyone
Do
else is interested, we do have those openings. And, like I said, talk to the nominating committee. They can fill you in kind of the roles and responsibilities. That's always important. So,
all right. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Addie. Keep up the great work. And for the Washington County Fair kicking off. And I want to thank our sponsors this morning, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Perlee Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Sneck Medical Center, Springs Valley Bank and Trust, and Temple and Temple. Everyone, let's have the best Wednesday ever, okay?
thank you.